Welcome, heroes. Welcome to Zeros on Heroes ad Nauseam, where the shows are the commercial. Today's episode is all about America. This is ad Nauseam. I'm your host, Mike Mercadal. I'm your chief patriotism officer today, and thank you for joining us. The show would not be what it is without my assembled panel of experts, my co-hosts. First up, let's bring him in.
Hello, my name is John Smith, and baby, I'm a firework.
Baby, I'm a firework. John, thank you so much for joining us. You are a resident expert in advertising and marketing, as you have made a career of it.
Yes, that is true. I am a graphic designer and illustrator who has been working for like 15 years in advertising. Advertising doesn't necessarily want me anymore, but, you know, let's talk some shit.
Are you a robot? Because that's all advertising wants these days. Capitalism is just obsessed with automation and anti-human at this stage. But you are technically the only one of us that is a professional in the field of advertising, which is what the show's about. We figured we're being bombarded with advertisements and marketing all the time. We might as well make a fucking show about it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the state of the industry is probably pretty obvious to see coming, at least in my time there in the last 15 years. It all just seems like it's all been moving this way anyway.
Well, you know, it's very easy to feel doom and gloom, but the only reason we're doing the show is because we love it. We love there's a certain art to the advertising, there's a certain art to being marketed to, and there's a certain psychology to it. And that's what we're going to introduce.
Advertising, and we love America. Those two things, they've never done anything wrong.
Nothing, and not in my book. America is faultless in the way that it is using our algorithmically produced data to sell stuff to us. Philosophically, we have another co-host, and he's going to be addressing some of the other more esoteric and ethereal angles of advertising and marketing of the human psyche. Ladies and gentlemen, R. Alex Murray.
Am I R. Alex Murray, or am I just the AI facsimile of an actor who's been repurposed and repackaged to appeal directly to you, my consumer? You'll never fucking know.
You'll never know. It's impossible to tell because much like everybody else on the internet, we are producing content that will be stolen.
Yep.
And it will be repurposed in other ways. And you are an actor and a performer who is actively trying to work, and some of the ways you have to work.
Working. Yep.
Actively working, yes.
I've signed away my likeness rights before. I've signed away my work before. I may do it again. It's bad out there, but we gotta pay rent. Yeah. So I, like the American bald eagle before me, am willing to have people think that I look, sound, and behave differently than I do if it fits a prescribed idiom. Caw.
Today's show. So this is ad nauseum. We did a stream of it years ago. There's a thing that about commercials and being marketed to that used to be considered art. Like it's like pop art, like cultural art. Like people would take it when they took it seriously. The Mad Men days. These people were one guy could change the course of American pop culture by advertising Campbell's soup in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Salvador Dali did stuff, you know, he painted crap for, you know, sponsors. He don't care.
A lot of what Warhol was doing in the 60s was trying or like showing people that like, hey, this is an art form that's actually in our lives all the time. It is what we are looking at.
There's so much about this. So why not make the commercials the show? That's what the show's about. We will be continuing to do this. We are going to be asking you for submissions. We have our lineup. We have our stuff. This is an interactive show. You can always send stuff to zerosonheroes@gmail.com. That is the email where you can send us stuff you'd like us to talk about related to commercials. Commercials that you see in life that are just absurd. And we're going to commercials of yesterday, commercials that genuinely we feel nostalgia for, and you're going to see that here today, because it used to be you watch like commercials, you think fondly of the ones of the toys of our youth, or like iconic movie trailers.
I mean,
things like
the ones that I think of are the ones that made me want something. You know, they're the ones that works. They're the ones that were like,
the ones
fuck,
that
I
worked.
need that. The ones that made me yell at my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, I think we all have connections to like the children's advertising of of whatever age you're in, because that's when you're like getting inundated with the most amount of advertising, and you have the least protection against manipulations.
It's also when you are.
I have no worldly experience to let me know that like that toy is not going to behave the way that it's behaving on the commercials.
It's also when you are building your identity for yourself the most, and a lot of people are trained to build their identities through consumption. Like, if I buy this thing, this is who I am. If I is that not how it works?
And baby, what's more American than that?
What's more American than
that? You're telling me that if I buy the biggest Z71 that exists, I don't become a more bigger and powerful person immediately?
I'm going to tell you, I'll give you a perfect example. You're both wearing caps right now, and I'm like, oh shit, should I become a hat guy? I feel like I need hats. I feel like I should be wearing a hat because I'm the odd man. I'm adhering. I'm trying to conform by consumption. We're constantly being sold things. Sometimes what we're being sold isn't the product itself, but an idea of self. Isn't that?
If you're a hat person or not.
You telling me
I'm a hat person.
That sales is about me and how I see myself and not actually just a physical product?
It's about demanding a reaction of you in a way that forces you to want something. And we're going to talk about it because our first segment of the show is add salt and battery. We are constantly bombarded with advertisements, and we're constantly being, especially out in the world, in New York City where you guys are, in LA where I am, I get a lot of driving billboards. You guys get a lot of just like buildings wrapped in advertisements.
I mean, the subway at this point, if I think about like how it was even 5 years ago, like everything moves, everything screams. They're like oh, let's update the trains. Cool. Are you going to make them better and put better air conditioning? Nah, fuckers. We're putting screens in.
But we will just fully wrap them in advertisements for an album, you know,
and truth be told, I remember this was years ago. I was going through a train station that had been going under construction. You know, they had those big blue walls forever. And when I was going to work one day, and the walls were down. I guess they finished whatever project they were doing. And this was like, I want to say 2019, like right before COVID. And when the wall came down, there was a billboard for Ghost Rider something Vengeance, the sequel.
Yes, I love that.
That means that there are archaeological layers of advertising.
Absolutely.
That they're just slapping something over. And it's like the screens, I feel, erase that too. The screens are too
you can't
impermanent.
dig down. It's all, hey, listen, man, while we're here up top, fuck every video game console producer in the world. You sons of bitches. Give us discs. Give us discs.
Give us physical discs. Physical media, please.
For those unaware, the PlayStation, Sony has announced, this is the part that gets me. Sony announced that that the PlayStation moving forward will no longer be producing physical media starting, and GTA 6 was one of the first to be announced that they're not going to produce discs. Here's the fucked up part. Sony invented Blu-rays. Sony did compact discs. So it's like
Sony's the reason DVD took off too.
Yes.
Somewhere the CEO of Sony and the CEO of Southwest Airlines got together and were like, hey man, you think we should just bitch out? Should we just join everybody else? Yeah. Let's just charge for bags. The hell with it.
I can't wait to see how they sell that to us.
I mean,
because at this point, I
Also-
will no, hold on. I had a point. What I was going to say is that because it's like, first of all, Sony is like, I've abandoned my child, you know, like that.
Yes.
They've abandoned their child. And then also, because the games have gotten so big, they should be released on USB like jump drives,
Right.
Which means we're getting back to cartridges, baby.
Yeah,
We're getting back to the plugging a thing back into a thing.
I bet
Just
that's
do
it.
that.
A lot of times now, also the physical discs don't actually contain a game. It just, you put it
It's
in
a
and
pass key.
it's a key that downloads something online. And like GTA 6, the stats came out for it. And basically, like for like the PS5, I don't think you can have other games on the PlayStation with GTA 6 on it. And that's like enough for me to like not buy it. I don't care about GTA 6 to begin with. Like, the culture around that game is a very different type of gamer than me. I like it. I would buy it out of curiosity if I had a job currently, but
Also true.
But I also like am not jonesing for it, and also like it's just the size, like that's just not worth it for me.
It's counter. So here's the angle I'd like to take. How are they going to try and sell it to us? Because honestly, because there's no discs anymore. I just can't wait for the savings to filter down to the customer.
It's not even
these games are going to be dirt cheap, baby.
They're going to say
these games are going to be easy scratch for us poor people to afford to use their product. Or this would be a feudal process in masturbatory capitalism.
They're going to tell us that what they're doing is they're trying to help us be able to access our media across multiple platforms. And everybody's going to be like, I could do that with a when I had a Walkman and a 6 CD changer in my car and a boombox in my room, I could access the Third Eye Blind album from anywhere I wanted. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and the other thing about it is like now they're taking away pretty much ownership of everything, and then video games are already a weird industry that has a lot of trouble with preservation, and there is a point in which, like, hey, say the internet stops working.
Yeah.
You don't have your copy of GTA 6 anymore, baby.
You know who doesn't have that problem? Motherfucking pirates. You're encouraging piracy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And I will say a big shout out to what I feel like is this weird beacon of like hope, we'll say, but Steam demands that for PC gamers, demands that the games, you can unlist a game, but you can't delete it from someone's library.
Yeah.
That was like a big deal for them. And because they're a privately held company, they don't have shareholders, they could be like, and what? Yeah, do something. Do something. And that's don't make me root for a corporation, you guys.
Well,
I don't feel good about it.
I mean, make corporations want to be rooted for, I guess.
That's also good. But let's get to the ad.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail us.
No, it's okay. The ad salt and battery. We're just talking about stuff that we've seen throughout the week that has literally stopped us in our tracks. Where we'll be like, "This is advertising."
When an advertisement kicks you down a 30-foot hole,
the advertisement that absolutely, according to the ad, 30 feet is survivable.
What was the point of the 30-foot pit in Sparta? It's just our kicking pit.
It's just a kicking pit.
We'll start with the off season.
We'll start with R. Alex Murray. Your submission to stop you dead in your tracks. This add salt and battery. You got hit in the face with this. Real fact from Snapple.
Man, so this is right outside of Madison Square Garden. So I was walking by, and I've been doing a thing between us, like doing this show. So trying to like really pay attention. I'm also doing a thing where I'm like tracking things that I'm like unique things that I'm seeing like all the time. So I'm really looking a lot now and not letting it bounce off of me. And this one smacked me in the face. Just the idea, I think what tickled me so much was the idea of like regionally specific Snapple facts. Like the idea of Snapple going like real fact, the Knicks won, and them like catering their like real facts to like someone's writing Snapple facts, right? And they used to be very, very, I don't know if they're under the lids or not anymore. First of all, I'm looking at this Snapple and know that it's a twist off. It's not, it's a
plastic cap. There's no pop anymore.
Which is a bummer.
It is a bummer.
God, because remember when Snapples used to come with fidget toys, right?
Absolutely.
It was like the Trouble Pop-O-Matic.
That's
like
exact noise. And like,
they should just be advertising that as like, hey, free fidget toy with every Snapple.
With every
and
purchase.
Children will go nuts for it.
And you get a little trivia thing, right? Like it's the popsicle joke for the intellectual elite. Have a Snapple learn something, but just the idea that their real fact was like, the Knicks won. And I love the idea of somebody in Alabama like popping one and looking, and it's like, real fact. The Civil War technically was about states' rights. You're like, hey, great.
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't agree to the fact. Now, I got to say, John is our resident.
Standing on collapsed 3 years ago. No.
Yeah.
That's deep. As the resident artist of our group, I want to point out the fact that there are 5 N's in Knicks 1, and the Knicks 1 and 5.
Yeah. That's
this a choice?
Almost everything you're seeing is a choice.
Wouldn't you want 5 W's then? The Knicks.
Ooh,
yeah.
But here's the thing: the Knicks 1 in 5. N5.
Okay.
This went through like, this went through a copywriter. This went through a graphic designer who is then laying this out, making all your text perfect. It's like every aspect of this is touched by a number of people.
They're using peach because it's like works with the orange color of the Knicks and stuff. I don't know. It just smacked me. I love that like Snapple, a brand that has like facts has been like weird.
Yeah.
Because I would trust the underside of a Snapple lid at least as much as Wikipedia, right? Like that to me is there's a social contract there. They've
never betrayed me before.
Like many people have told me that those facts aren't real whatsoever. I don't know if I don't know if
I swear to God, if you make me rethink my whole life on episode 1 of this fucking show.
I don't know if that is true. I don't know if that's true. I've never confirmed it, but I've had many people be like, yeah, those aren't real. They just make them up.
I'm Googling Snapple accuracy.
Literally both of us. I was like, no, don't do this to me, John. Don't do this to me.
No, the first thing that pops up is 12 Snapple facts that are actually false.
Oh no.
Man. Oh no. Poor Alabama consumer. The Civil War was actually about slavery. Oh no.
No, wait. No, we actually did like that it was about that. That we shouldn't have known that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were playing characters. We were playing less enlightened versions of guys with caps and beards.
For the record, we are experts with air quotes. We're talking on a podcast into microphone. We're comedians and actors and artists. Like we're completely just talking shit.
If you're listening to a podcast and you want what you're looking for is like a college level class, then you're asking to be tricked, just like anybody who watches a commercial and looks for truth.
To be clear,
this is the wrong place for that.
That's how I feel good about being in commercials. If you're allowing yourself to be advertised to, that's not my problem.
Despite the fact that I have worked in advertising for 15 years, I want you all to realize I am a dumb idiot who doesn't know anything. Yeah. So that's everybody. Take everything I say with a grain of salt.
It's everybody who's writing and acting in the commercials. Like the people who are selling you the Whole Foods don't care about your health. They want your money.
We have jobs to do, and we're doing them. And our job today is to continue with Add Salt and Battery. John,
hell yeah! What's next?
You sent me 2 images. Which one would you like to do first? There's the one of the big blue, the far away, and the close up. The far away. Okay, we'll do the far away.
So in true me fashion, I was given 2 assignments and I did them both a little wrong.
Okay.
So
I know where that is.
Yes, you do. It's on the corner of Houston and Broadway. That is a building, and on the side you have this big blue swath of paint with these iron grids coming out of it.
Yeah, what are those things? They're like poking out of the thing.
It is supposed to be representative of the buildings that were there. So this is a piece of art by the artist Forrest Myers.
Okay.
In the 70s. He made this. It was called The Wall, and it's sometimes called the Gateway to Soho. And it is there to...
He would probably hate that. He'd be like, don't turn my thing into a thing. Like, it's called an art piece, Gateway to Soho.
Yeah.
That used to mean something, but now Soho is all like high-end boutiques.
It was built in 1973 during a lot of the Soho reconstruction and all of that. And that Houston was widened, so a bunch of homes and buildings were just taken down, and that is there as a reminder of the buildings that were there. Now, the reason I walk past this piece sometimes weekly, and it always sticks out to me. What I want to pull your attention to now is
I'm assuming it's this lower part. Yes,
lower parts. Now, when this piece was originally made, it was commissioned by the owner of the building, and it stood much lower on the actual piece. It was then sold. The building was then sold to a new owner, and he really hated the fact that he could not advertise on his building and use it and get advertising space.
I mean, it's a corner on Houston, man.
Yes. And
a lot of foot traffic.
But the art piece itself was considered a landmark and was preserved. So he started making up, pretty much lying and being like, oh, it's destroying the structure of the building, it's causing leaks, all these things.
The paint.
And then they gave an agreement with him that he could take it down briefly while they did the repairs. And then this was in 2002, and then in 2004, the Preservation Society sued him for not putting it back up, and they extended the building by 30 feet so that he could then raise and keep the artwork up, and then have room for the advertising billboards that you see. But even still, with just that advertising, the estimation is that he is losing out of, at least whenever this number was given, $600,000 a year on advertising that he is not getting to use because of this artwork. And I love it. Fuck you, guy who owns that.
That is
that what it's got right on it now is explore your story.
Yeah.
Story of yourself being a dickhead.
These are fresh pictures from last night as I was walking by it.
Way to go, coach.
Way to go, coach.
Or don't. Just buy what we tell you. If you don't have to do any actual self-reflection, buy this thing and it will make you feel like you're exploring your story.
On this image, though, I want you guys to look right under the blue line. You can see the original marks of where it was before they moved it up. And I don't know, I just love it. I love that you can see where it has been moved, all of it. The story, it only adds to the story of these buildings were removed because they needed to widen the street for better business, better commerce, whatever. And then even the memorial for the history of New York and this neighborhood was so much of an inconvenience for advertising revenue that action had to be made to force people to keep it. And I don't know, it's a fascinating little piece.
Love it.
I love the advertising. Yeah.
I also love the nature is healing of the we're also looking at a picture with maybe some of the most iconic New York advertising ever in it.
Yeah,
I was just going to say
the Sabrat hot dog things, just like nature being just like, nah, I'm just gonna cruise right in here.
I want to point out, look at how immediately, consistently, the eyes are drawn to this yellow and blue umbrella that is all over New York, and it's like unchanged for how many decades, and they're literally still using the same.
We're on a roll.
We're on a roll. Why change it? It's iconic. It's
I mean,
so
that's one of
defined.
those absolutely where it's somebody was. We're like, how do we? And somebody just went, we're on a roll.
We're on a roll. Not only that,
Matt and Nathan's baby. Don't change them.
Don't change them. And this is 100% the meme of Omni-Man and Invincible, where he's like, look what they need to have a fraction of our power.
Our power. They have to move things.
I've never heard of Sabret unless it's this.
No.
But I know it. I know what it is. Like, look what they need to do to mimic.
How much money coaches spent? Who is that? Do any of us know who the model is? Is that a female?
I believe it is.
It looks like a Johnson.
It looks like a Fanning. It looks like a Fanning.
It looks like a Fanning, not a Dakota Johnson. That's an Elle Fanning. Yeah.
Is that an Elle Fanning?
That's Elle.
It's Elle Fanning type.
Probably Elle. I was just watching Margot Has Money Trouble, but she looks very different than that.
She does. I will say this.
Also, way to go, Elle. Make your fucking secure your literal coach bag, Elle.
Secure the bag. Also, that might not be Elle Fanning, and they looked for an Elle Fanning type, which you see all the time when you go out for these roles.
If that person looks that much like Elle Fanning, then girls make your money because you ain't never getting cast in a movie.
I'm gonna assume
that's her.
I'm gonna assume it's her because coach on a branding level would want.
They're not using some scrub,
random person.
I love it. The dichotomy of the two advertising New Yorks, is very present in that picture, and I love it. My submission for add salt and battery, because I'm in a car town. I'm in LA now.
I love that we're going to have both coasts represented every week. In this
I had to go to my dash cam because I could not stop quickly. I wasn't going to pull my phone out and take pictures, just so you're aware.
Boo, endanger everybody around you.
I know. I apologize. I should have
made a TikTok about yourself watching it.
Exactly. I should be filming myself. Okay. Now, I will say that, stay with me. Stay with me here, okay? This is an ad for sushi on Postmates is delicious.
Okay.
It is a Postmates billboard.
That is a Cialis ad, if I've ever fucking
seen
it. Okay. Now, I want to show you the other side of the story.
That guy's going to fuck a California roll for sure.
Now, this has the Postmates branding on it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the Postmates logo. Yeah. Now, it is across the street from STDs Are Timeless. Free STDcheck.org.
Amazing. I was actually just about to say, like, when you pulled it up, I was like, I like the first time I was in LA, there were just all of these things being like, gonorrhea is here, and you're just like,
apparently,
oh my God.
This is a company. A company does this where they're like, herpes of the eyes is, and it's on like a park on a bus bench, and you're just like, ugh. And it's like trying to shock you and all of the West Hollywood sexy people that don't get STDs. No, but they're not just gays. They're full of the full alphabet is represented in West Hollywood.
Two extremely old straight people smooching,
right? But I'm just saying that it's
back?
Like so. Yes, we got to go back
because side by side or like,
yes. Hold on a second. Hold on. So that we have.
Oh wow.
Ooh. Okay.
That's
okay.
Incredible.
So we have this process here.
Shout out to Mike's dash cam. This is well framed.
Yeah,
it's I edited it. I did a little tweaking. I had to find the right things.
Shout out to Mike and his dash cam.
Yeah. Here's the reality. I paid attention to it. Now, the problem with advertising on billboards is that if it's too good, it is a danger to public safety.
You die.
If it is too good, you're not paying attention in a way that you need to be paying attention to the car in front of you.
I do love a billboard though that is specifically playing with either another object in the space. You know, that's fun.
I mean, this is talk about art. This is like a yes and. This is like
it is 100%. It 100% stopped me in my tracks. I'll tell you that. I was ad-salted because of like, I was like, this is me in the car going like,
is it the same guy? I mean, it's just
so
it's gotta be
on a production level. That definitely has to be a stock photo that they were able to find.
Yeah.
Because that is the same guy, and then I'm guessing that they just sort of photoshopped his photoshopped a new arm
or whatever.
Old people kissing.
It is a little awkward.
Sunset.
It is not impossible that they just use like the Photoshop AI fill-in stuff.
Probably. Although I will say this, the sushi does look kind of crappily put on there. Yeah, but we're getting to the point where I've seen AI stuff crappily, like it's learning from crappy AI Photoshop things.
The Photoshop AI tools, because like here's the thing, I am anti-AI, but I work in advertising agencies. There's a lot of pressure from people with money to make this work, even though everybody that's being forced to says it doesn't work.
It's going to be a rough couple quarters,
but
just
then
like
also
2 more very bad quarters.
As my job, like as a designer, if there is something like that trending that is supposedly going to make work better or easier, I should be paying attention to it. And if not, I should know my enemies to be able to speak against them. And I have played with these AI tools, and I say play because I think that is kind of the result you get from it. And I will say that the Photoshop one is absolutely garbage. They're all bad, but the Photoshop one is like the Adobe stuff is not really functional, which is insane because Adobe has insane amounts of money because it's the industry standard everywhere, and they make you pay monthly for that shit.
When I tell you that Adobe is reminding me of Skype. Skype fumbled video conferencing so hard that it has to be studied.
Yeah,
Adobe is going to fumble this. They may be the industry standard, but if they keep subscription software as a service model to death, I don't use it anymore. I got
there's like
Pixelmator Pro. I've got Affinity is free. Like I'll make do. I don't need all the bells and whistles. I just need something to make a flyer for a ad nauseam. You know what I mean? Like
I do just because like I have to for my job. But if I like basically as soon as I get like a full-time hired gig again, fingers crossed, and they give me an Adobe login, I'm getting rid of my subscription. You know, like I'm not. That is not
it's also
worth my time.
Sony is also like the Sony not giving physical media. We are again back to piracy. Like we're all going back to somebody stealing something, and like we're going back to the idea of shareware. Do you remember shareware? I'm old enough to remember shareware. That you give somebody a copy of it, and then it's like, hey, send us a couple bucks if you like it. And it's like WinRAR. WinRAR is free, but it reminds you, like it tries to guilt you into paying stuff. WinRAR is a archiving tool for like compression, and it's literally the joke is who pays for it. It's you just click X and it's free.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say that like we are in an interesting turning point for I think the internet in general. We have all grown up with the internet. We all are old enough to remember life pre-internet, and then early days of internet, and then watching it have this meteoric climb in technology and become kind of the center of culture. But now, for the first time ever, the people who are making these choices and changes are saying we're going in this direction. And for the first time in my life, I'm like, I have no interest in going that way. And
Yeah,
it feels like it could be just that, like, this is us becoming old men and technology finally leaving us behind.
Right.
But it feels, and that's what they're trying to convince you, that like that's what all the advertising about AI
just
is.
shut up,
like,
get on board, man.
If you
don't
just
do
fight
this,
it,
don't fight it.
You don't fight it, you can do it. But in reality, I think the discussion is much more negative than they are letting on, and and it's across many different groups. Young people are not embracing this as much as they think that
nobody wants it.
Nobody wants it.
I will say this. I struggle with the nuance of this conversation being removed because language models have been used for like 15 years.
We're talking about generative.
We're talking about art and creativity. We're not talking about cancer research.
No, 100%. But that's the part that gets me, right? The part that gets me is that stuff is useful.
Yeah.
And it serves a purpose. Yeah. But it was all of this extra stuff that is happening. It removes the nuance where it's like, oh, even if I use a local LLM on my machine, doesn't go to anywhere else, I'm running it on my computer at home, that stuff that is now available was built on stolen things. But you want to know what else was built on something? What's built on the tragedy of human existence and being abused? America! America! It is built on the backs of the suffering, and we all have to pretend like it isn't. And we all have to sit there and watch commercials that try to make us forget of the horrors of medical practices on African-American Black women. And that's why we have modern medicine now. We all have to forget that everything about AI is killing local environments with their data centers and stealing the creative work of every artist. And they're trying to be like, hey, forget about it.
Everything's for sale on stolen land.
Everything's for sale on stolen land and stolen art. Which brings us...
Let's get it. I want to watch it.
Let's get in it.
Let's go on with the show. And by show, I mean
we've been talking for 40 minutes.
Let's do it. You know what? It's
some of that was the intro.
Yeah, some of that was the intro, we'll say. But the truth is that keep this in mind. Like we're constantly up at odds with what we're being sold versus the reality of what we're buying. Like what's the pitch and what's the product. Those are two very different things. With that mindset, let's move forward. We're going to start with John. You sent us. I have not watched it. I saw what it is, but I've not watched it. So we're just going to enjoy it together.
An assignment given. I did sort of wrong. We talked about, we had a production meeting, peek behind the curtain. We had a production meeting and we were talking about like, keep it snappy. Let's be fast. And I was like, cool. First ad I'm sending 4 minutes long.
Jesus.
But it is an ad.
Smart film.
It is an ad. I just wonder. Let's.
There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to think about. We also don't have to watch all of it.
You'll get the feel of it. We're gonna watch every fucking minute, John. We're gonna watch every minute of what you sent in.
Let's go.
Let's go. Promotional commercial.
I want to live here. I never want to leave. I want that to be my dog. All across America, song of freedom rings. Yes.
This song
is 1991, by the way. Do you want the volume up?
Holy shit.
To the message that it says.
An old-timey sea captain?
Yeah.
With a brand new sea captain.
A happy nuclear family with a girl with a sailor hat? Baseball!
Yeah, baseball and sailors.
That's Christy from the Babysitters Club.
I was about to say, I recognize her. Racist choices. Yes.
This is... I hope we get copyright strike on this goddamn
those
song.
People are about to fuck on a beach for some sushi. You guys also are going to get an STD if billboards are.
Yeah, that's Fleet Week.
Yeah.
A hole in every port.
All over America.
Oh.
A quiet revolution.
They're also going to get an STD.
Place.
A quiet revolution.
More and more. Both
that's a dog whistle.
And raising families. Life seems to be
Is
This is
this
a regular
about to try to
whistle.
be my
and
mom?
Americans have rediscovered, are redefining
Diversity,
what's really
DEI.
important in their lives. They want quality in their personal life, in their business life, in the goods they purchase, and in the food they eat.
I love
They
how
want
shitty
good,
the food
basic
looks
home
too.
cooking, quality food.
That's
and they want choices
80s food. That's
for
like
life.
80s
Yeah.
production.
All at a
Oh, yeah,
reasonable
for
price.
sure.
91, yeah.
Americans want value.
Americans want
We still want value. Give us value.
You've been looking for.
Look at that. Look at
Look, oh
the
my God.
size of that buffet.
Oh, this is beautiful. I love this so much.
By holding to tradition.
What stone fucking dickhead was chopping up all that pineapple every day?
Whoa.
Her
Jesus,
face is
fucking
amazing.
buffet.
Whoa, what was that?
That was the horniest.
Wow.
She should
Hey,
be given the
hey, did you
Oscar.
get that? Hey, did you get that shot of the lady looking at the buffet? You got it, Cap. Super horny, just like you wanted.
If you're watching
Yeah,
this
she
on
made a face like the Joker. Got it. Got it.
wow.
Is that a carafe?
Is that
of
wine?
fucking
A carafe
apple
of wine?
juice?
Shit can happen at Sizzler, you know? Look at her business haircut.
Yeah, she's gonna defeat Rocky.
Oh, look, it's horny.
The horny lady is getting hooked. Oh, hell yeah,
my
dude.
God.
Some American cooking.
She's a mistress.
Fresh fish,
There's a lot of
a
plot
variety
lines
of
happening.
sides, Wonderful hot appetizers.
That's a lot of kiwis.
Tantalizing combination platters. All backed with a new kind of courteous, friendly
Oh my
service.
goodness.
That-
Sizzler
It is
introduces
nice
a
to
new
see
kind of dining
people in a
with two
commercial with their
completely
real
different
teeth, you know?
dining
Like,
Yes.
not to,
Yeah.
like,
One
read
restaurant,
them, but, like,
The Grill, with a variety of distinctive platters.
our
served
modern
at your
state of,
table,
like, plastic
and
surgery
the
and the
buffet
way you
court,
have to look
a
in
whole
camera is
experience
so
on its own,
crazy.
where you
I'm
create delicious combinations just
Way
the way you
hornier
want
than I thought I was gonna
To
be 3
restaurant
minutes
within
into
a
this
restaurant.
commercial.
Yo, for real.
Quality.
Why are
This
they
is-
all stop, dude? Don't stop eye fucking me through this camera, all of you.
Well, the director must have been like, hey, look at the camera like it's about to jerk you off.
Yeah.
Like, look at the camera like you're about to fuck. That dog got the same direction. Look at the dog.
Yes,
That dog wants to
Oh,
fuck you. Come on.
Wet and
that woman. If that woman's sweating that hard from walking next to the beach with her husband, she has got a problem.
That
you
is
know
a
what's
medical
gonna
condition.
You know what's really going to cool her down? A nice warm salad.
Yeah,
from
baked
Sizzler.
potato.
Sit. All right, that was
the
okay. Hold on.
chastest kiss. Ah,
That was the least horny kiss I've
Never
after all of the
mind.
setup.
Yeah, my boner's gone.
Boo. I guess they couldn't have it that horny and then lead it
And
to
a
the shot of
woman
a girl.
playing sports. Now my boner's totally gone. Eh.
So,
Holy moly.
so I would like to share
Court.
that because
Buffet
I
court.
think that that's actually what people like. People who voted for Trump think that that's what they are getting back.
That's what Make America Great Again is.
Okay,
They really
yes, they
people
don't
just
rea-
want smoking
Hold on.
sections and
Because
buffets.
if you ask them directly, they'll be, of course they'll be like, yeah, no, the 50s had their problems. We don't want the 50s. What they want is the dream of the Sizzler. They want the
The
Ponderosa to be
1991
open.
Sizzler Buffet Court and Grill.
Yeah.
I do want to point something out because I don't know if you can see my exact screen. Can you see my mouse and what's happening?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. I want you to see. You know how there's this thing
Yeah,
and
what's
it
the
shows.
most replayed place?
I
It's
will
the
get
second
you
woman. Is it the
$1,000.
sexy lady?
I will bet you $5,000. It is the
Yes. Of course it is. Because if
Look
she's
at
Oh no!
it looks like a fucking
Everybody saw that. It was like, what the fuck?
yeah, because she was directed by John Waters. Like, are you kidding me? Like, she's the only person doing that big of a performance.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! And I gotta say this honestly. The one we did a bunch of. We reached out to one of the actors in the commercial for a tactical flashlight guy. He was
Yeah.
like a YouTube. I would love to talk to this person so bad. I
Yeah,
out
want this
there.
I
person's
wonder how we could
insight.
find her.
If,
mean,
if-
we'll get
I
there.
don't know, but it's so. Of course, it is. That's the most watched thing. Look at the deranged look on that lady's face over a salad bar. I'll be honest
That's
with you.
not deranged.
can
That's
we all
passion, Mike.
can we all try to do our best version of that to
Yeah.
camera?
Okay, yeah. Hold on. I'm going to give everybody a. Okay, there's your shot. There's your angle.
Okay.
There's your motivation. I'm going to go, John. You're going to go solo for. Okay, here we go. Camera Alex. Oh, this is disturbing me. Good Lord. Insane.
And now you can all come.
You can all, actually, now you can all give a little peck of the cheek of the sailor couple.
A chaste Bayside smooch.
Oh my God. That was
But
John.
That's the
Bravo.
dream of America.
That is the dream of America. I will tell you, I miss a salad bar experience like that. I miss a Sizzler experience. I miss an all-you-can-eat buffet. I miss that.
In my hometown, we did not have a Sizzler. We had a Ponderosa, but it's the same kind of idea.
There's Golden Corrals these days, but
the Ponderosa, I still think about the little chicken wings that they had at Ponderosa. I ate so many of those as a kid, in a point that like should be alarming to people that a kid ate that many chicken wings.
I will say this: I have eaten an uncomfortable amount of butterfly fried shrimp in my life from these things. I have also had food poisoning a few times. I'm not saying they're related, but they can't not be related.
You just shake it off, man. That's part of that's like the dice roll of a buffet. That you're just like, look, man, everything has a cost, right? We talk a lot about like the true cost of something. It's like, if you want that dream of America, the potential cost is like, the quick talking at the end of a commercial is like, Ponderosa buffet may cause loose bowels, diarrhea, vomiting, and voting for horrible people.
What are you expecting for at this time? Who knows? I didn't even see the prices. They didn't show price because this is it feels like a promo for
$5.99.
I was doing some thinking about it, and I think that this actually probably never made it to TVs in any form. Maybe some versions of it were like edited up and cut up because it's way too long to actually be a commercial break. My guess is that it was made in-house for potential advertisers or like shareholders to like kind of do company in-house like branding.
I get these things happen all the time. They get shot. I've been
let's take a look,
like a long thing that so they can show it at their like convention,
trade show, or some sort of trade show, convention, something.
So while you're convincing people to give you money to expand your Western Sizzlers into somebody was like a restaurant within a restaurant. What we want is the court inside of the Sizzler. And
I also don't really know how much about how like franchisees work and stuff. It might be like an advertising a video that they made to like attract potential franchisees.
Well, let's not get into the weeds too much. Let's get into the big picture. So once again, hold on. This, and this. Let's show look at the design, look at the vibe of this environment. This is truly what I remember these places in the mall. I remember this. Let's take it. Let's look at this and let's see. What are they selling? What's the
first
pitch?
of all, it's nice.
What's the product? Are you buying?
I miss the America where our buffets were properly gendered. It was just half boy, half girl, all buffet. That's the America.
Got your salads and your meats, and that's it.
Yeah.
And never the twain shall meet except on your plate, which is sexual.
I mean, well, looking about who they are talking to, obviously we have to take in the time frame, 1991. They are talking to like the aging greatest generation. They are trying to say Sizzler isn't just a place that you can go. It is wholesome. It is all the things that you like went to World War II for. It's It is safe. It is Christian. It is Christian nationalism. It is like, we are doing everything about here. This place passes the Hays Code. It's not there anymore, but don't worry. The hippies aren't going to scare you at Sizzler.
Right.
Yeah, we'll keep
It's
them
gonna
away.
be cool.
Well, and
Alex
they
Murray, what
started
is
that out
your
at the
take?
very beginning, right? That what they were selling was home.
Yeah.
That like this feels like home. It's like they say more and more people are going to work. Things are changing. We're not changing.
Yes,
What they're
yeah.
selling is like staunch commitment to the idea of like, yeah, a family style. Also choice is really what they're like. I love that, like, when something sells choice, but our choice, right? You can have anything you want as long as it's one of the things that we think you can have.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Here's also like, in a couple of years, they're like, we know Clinton's coming, but it's still Bush here, baby.
No. I agree. 1991. So here's what my take is. What they are selling is lifestyles of the rich and famous to the middle class.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is middle class champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
I mean, middle class fantasy. Absolutely.
Middle class. This is middle class, but you're better than the other middle class. Like this is elitism, middle class elitism.
Yeah. Look how many steaks you can have.
Look at how many. This is abundant. You're like, don't worry about what the billionaires are doing on Wall Street. Look at how much abundance we allow you to have.
Yeah.
The freedom of, they're selling you fried shrimp wishes and weird sex tongue gesture dreams. They're
pineapple
selling
tower
you
dreams.
yeah. They're selling you an overabundance of options so that you don't. So they're lulling you into this kind of passivity of like this passiveness of accepting life, because look how great nothing could be wrong right now.
Yeah,
and
man.
then Desert Storm, here we go, Kuwait. Again, these are very like I was alive at this time.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, I was like, oh, I thought we were living it up, man. You go to Sizzler, it was like the best. I will say this. The Pizza Hut dine-in experience was like, it felt luxurious.
I mean, it's the exact same thing. Pizza Hut's got with the Wendy's salad bar. Again, remember Wendy's used to have the like garden veranda where it was all glass.
The sunroom. Yeah.
Sunroom, and there were plants that someone had to water and maintain. And like there was an architectural like moment to this fast food chain. And it was,
My hometown Pizza Hut had one of those, and now it is a like Indian / just like General East. It's called the Spice Route, and you can go sit inside the old Pizza Hut glass dome, and I do every time. The food's really good there.
We can't start talking about repurposed Pizza Huts. I'll stop. It'll be another hour of podcast.
That'll be
an episode, maybe.
Yeah.
This week on a special episode of Ad Nauseam.
Yeah.
Repurposed building is that like, because that is a whole other thing. I knew you used to be
a
Pizza Hut.
The current CEO of, I think, Yum is like, they're threatening to start rebuilding. They're like, after the Cracker Barrel rebranding fiasco, like there is talk now of like moving back towards like, no, what people like about Cracker Barrel is the fucking porch and the chairs and anyway.
The novelty of it.
Yeah. There's a reason Buc-ee's works, man. Like,
it's like I think a lot about like my kids, my nieces and stuff, and how like we kind of grew up in a world, for better or worse, that was like where advertising was really able to direct at us, and so therefore a lot of things were aimed at us out in the world. Like McDonald's looked more fun, everything was a lot more playful. And
it was more fun. There was play places and a room where there was a room in McDonald's. I mean, I don't have to tell you, Mike, you grew up there, but like there was a room with a giant tree in it. And like, it was literally the party room. Yeah.
Yeah. There was, we will absolutely get into those things. I promise you, viewers, in the future, You're going to get exactly what you want because we are going to hit all of those things. We have plans to talk about everything. If we get bombarded with emails, again, you can send us emails to zerozoneheroes@gmail.com. You can see it right there down below or up above if you're watching this on a mobile device, I guess. We have so like we're doing this because we love this stuff because it's so interesting a lens with which to view humanity and America because that's where we all grew up. So our Alex Murray,
yeah, what's up?
You sent me two options. I'm gonna pick the one that the name is the most egregious.
I want both of them. The longer one we should play first because it is the specifically American one, and then I want to look at the second one as a like rebuttal to that. Also, while like, do we need a bio break here?
I need to pee. I'm going to die. So let me pee real quick.
Let's go to our sponsors. And now a word from our sponsors. I'll say this with I hope he's muted. Okay. Because the last thing. Yeah. A word from our sponsors. We're going to go ahead.
I was just gonna say we're in classic pilot episode. It's longer than the other episodes will be. We're figuring it out.
We're figuring out the pace. Honestly, we're rolling, but it's like it's hard because that Sizzler commercial was so good.
Yeah. I don't think that was the problem. I think we got pissed. I got us pissed off about video games for 20 minutes.
The Sony thing, yeah. Speaking of, everything's for sale on here. I'd like to shout out, thank you so much to the royalty-free music on StreamYard. StreamYard, a sponsor of the Ad Nauseam podcast.
We're paying them.
I understand, but let me kind of,
StreamYards, we're for sale.
Hey,
okay, I'm back.
Everything is for sale here at Ad Nauseam, including if you have music that you have if you want to write a theme song for us, please do. If you want to design some marketing material for this program, please do. We would love it. And if it's good enough, I will say this, I will pay you something.
I'll put a billboard on my chest. I don't give a shit.
I would, yeah. We will market you and credit you as we can, and we'll do it. We'll figure out a way.
I'll just start designing little advertisements to like put on my face, like face tattoos throughout the streams.
Everything is for sale. Like when Ricky Bobby sold the windshield.
Look at all this. Look at all this ad space I got. There's not even a piece of like
I'll do
historic artwork is available. In the way.
All of this is available. Yeah, this space available. Let's get on with the show. Our Alex Murray, we're gonna do the long one.
Yeah, do the long one first, and like
the 1 minute.
Boy.
Let's see.
It's not 4 minutes long. It's a minute.
No, it is definitely not. Let's see. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
Americans, we can do anything we want, except one thing.
It's so crazy that truck commercials are still
being American. Because since that revolution they said we'd lose, we just couldn't choose to stop being American. We put Hemi V8s back on the strip and packed 8 layers
George
in a
Washington
7-layer dip. We're body slams and blue suede shoes, rock and roll, jazz and blues, rockin' mullets and Rat Pack suits. Even our grandmas have tattoos. We're NASCAR, rock stars, rodeo, monster trucks, and power boats. Welcome to our epic show. Keep winning on Sunday, move horsepower Monday, shake the earth and carve terrain, rock the anthem like Kenny Wayne. So get out there, take your swing, burn rubber after the American dream. Rev your engines and let freedom ring. And never, ever, ever stop being American. Nothing stops America, and nothing stops Ram.
Boy, I sure hope the Dodge Ram doesn't ever encounter the Viet Cong. Fucking like, oh God, it's this American power fantasy, right? Like, just looking back at what we think we've lost. This is what they want now. Is the like, and I'd like to do the 30-second one as a rebuttal because it's the not specifically
right now. Okay.
I like, so the deal is with this one. The deal is with both of these commercials that what we're looking at is the most transparent power fantasy ever. And what's incredible to me is the juxtaposition for what they're saying and what's actually happening. Them being like, body slams, America. And then they show a picture of two luchadors not doing a body slam. And like rock the anthem like Kenny Wayne. That's Kenny Wayne Shepherd dressed up like Stevie Ray Vaughan, ripping off Jimi Hendrix. This is like, this should be a black man who was on drugs and hated the government. And instead, it's like copy of a copy of a copy.
I also did note it when they were like, "Yeah, we did the blues," and I was just like, "Okay," but they not a black person represented there.
Nope, a white man playing the piano, and like the idea of like burn rubber for the American dream of like consume and destroy and fast and explosions. And if you look at this next Dodge Ram commercial, man, and I'll try and go.
Hold on a second. I want to say something because, like everything, the true story is in the comments.
Yeah,
and the first comment,
this is right out of 30 Rock or something, I think. Right?
It says owned by Europeans. LOL.
Yep.
Ram is owned by Europeans.
I went to school with one of the Dodge scions. His name was Johnny Dodge, which
get out.
Holy shit. He was a punk. And every once in a while he'll show up on like a page 6 for being too drunk somewhere. It's pretty funny.
Wow. A truck assembly in Coahuila, Mexico.
I mean, again, that's exactly that. You've been body slams are American. Nah, that's two luchadors, bud.
Ram is owned by Stellantis, publicly traded multinational corporation. The founding families of its two predecessor companies, the Agnellis and the Peugeot, is the founders of Fiat and Citroën, which is a French thing.
Unreal, dude.
This is this is the point. It's like this is least common denominator marketing, because this feels like something that was made when they announced that Bad Bunny was going to be in the Super Bowl halftime show.
It's the most America 250 coded shit possible. And just them. We'll look at this next one, and I really want to because the next one is the big one from the first one is goddamn George Washington driving a truck.
I mean, it's wild.
What
I will
amazing.
say the makeup shockingly good on that one.
It's a really good. Yeah.
Also,
it looks scary.
It's also when they talk about the revolution, they said we were going to lose. Who's they? What are you talking about? You guys were fighting a war.
Yeah.
They said you were going to lose. They wanted you to lose.
You guys remember how Chat was always fucking down on Alexander Hamilton?
Chat, are we cooked?
It's fucking General Lafayette is so cooked, you guys. Okay.
That means we delivered knockouts. Boom.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
Ride the bull.
We are the bull.
We're light duty, heavy duty, Hemi D8s.
Oh, that lady was sexy riding the bull.
And we're backing it with America's best powertrain limited warranty. We're UFC fighting, donut making, NASCAR winning Ram. We're never gonna be something we're not, because nothing stops Ram.
Okay, a couple things in there. The dog whistle, first of all, of we're never going to be something we're not. Way to be weirdly transphobic.
Yeah.
My favorite is this. Weird. We don't just ride the bull. We are the bull. No, you are in fact a sheep.
Oh, you're a ram. You're sheep.
And then they cut to her. They cut to her riding a fake sheep. That's not a bull that she's on. She's
riding a ram,
taming a fake sheep. And that's it. Is that like we're kick-ass, we deliver a knockout blow, and then they show a picture of a Dodge Ram driving through some sparklers, like looking less tough than like two hipsters leaving their wedding.
Like, honestly, if you just took that advertisement and got rid of the narrative and then just like let Welcome to the Jungle play and then just have cars doing donuts and going through mud, that's
dudes punching each other.
I would be, that works. I would be fine. Actually, it's the voiceover is what puts it over to this thing of like, yeah, we're cool, bitch.
It's so close to parody, right? Like it
is. I was just gonna say this feels like a Saturday Night Live.
I just sent a YouTube clip into the private chat, of a very famous Simpsons joke from the 90s that is exactly this.
I mean,
Oh,
it's a,
yeah,
I think
no, we gotta watch
the first comment on that one was right out of 30 Rock. And it's like just
It is right out of 30 Rock.
and I think that's it, man. Is the power fantasy of like talking about like what are we voting for, right? It's that. What we want is fucking what the people that want that is like, is like literally they want UFC fights on the South Lawn. It's like, we'll fucking punch you. And it's like, do you guys not like, you can't just punch. You can't just punch.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Sick donuts before they go in and get that warm, wet salad from Sizzler.
Yeah, dude.
So it's interesting, right? Okay, I'm drawing parallels between. So here's what I think. This is lifestyles of the rich and famous for poor people, for poor white, for white trash.
That. Well,
this is lifestyles of the rich and famous, because it's like these trucks cost like $100,000.
Yeah.
Like
and
they are
what it gives you, what they're selling is power.
What they're selling,
this is big, kick-ass punches. We'll fuck a bull. Like, you want to know
to me what they're selling?
Power to the emasculated man.
Yeah,
100%. This is me. This is power. This is literally, I ain't gay as an ad.
Yeah, it's a gender affirming truck.
It's not gender. What's the? It's
gender affirming capitalism for sure.
But it's not necessarily gender. It's sexual orientation affirming. Like, I made the right choice to be straight. Like, it's like if they think sexual orientation is a choice, then they if you constantly need to be reminded not to do gay things,
you're gay.
You're gay, and you believe gay to be a choice.
Yeah, you're gay.
I mean, these are the kind of trucks that you see that where they like they alter it so that it like bellows more smoke into the air.
Yeah,
like that. Yes. It is like truly advertising to people with small dicks.
Yeah.
It is. Hey, we know you don't got what you need, so we can give it to you and make everybody think you got it.
It's the like advertising equivalent of a glass pack on a Honda Civic. Like, it's just louder and bigger and dumber.
Yeah, and this feels like a little like low hanging fruit, but like whatever, it's there.
It's almost like that again. It feels like parody. It's almost like it feels like this.
Can you name the truck with four-wheel drive? Smells like a steak and seats 35.
Canyonero. Whip crack.
Canyonero. Oh yeah. Also the classic in both commercials we just watched, the classic eagle call that is not an eagle.
Yeah. That's how fake. Okay. That's how fake it is to be American.
Yeah.
That our eagle noise is manipulation.
It's a red tail.
That's not. It's a red tail hawk. It's not even what an eagle sounds like.
Yep.
So it's like, it's like whenever someone's like, America, hell yeah, a literal eagle, that is a lie. Like, it's performative. It is performative for you to do this sort of thing. And again, okay, so let's talk about this. What is the product? What is the pitch? And are you buying?
I mean, that's what I've said. The product is power. The product is power and authority,
security.
And I'm 100% not buying. Like, no, thank you.
It's
I do not want your expensive, hard to maintain, like big fake dick. Yeah, like, no thanks.
It is
hard to park
comedically.
Yeah, it is. You are a man, you get things done. That is what we're selling you, even if you're not actually going to tow shit, because I mean, trucks do have a very useful, reason to exist. Most of the people that buy them do not.
Capacity on that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I own a pickup truck. Do you want to know what I own? I own a Ford Maverick, and online they're like, oh, it gets made fun of.
Big dick.
They call it, it's huge. The idea of the idea that I was looking for a hybrid because gas mileage, and the actual cheapest car that I could buy that I fit in again, huge, is I just carry my big old dick around. Just
Mostly
need a
dick.
lot of, it's hard to fit into a Corolla. I'll tell you that. The balls alone. But the bed is small. It's just a little pickup truck, right? Which, if you think about the Sizzler era, the era of the Sizzler commercial, import pickup trucks were fucking awesome. Think about like the dream truck of Marty McFly and Back to the Future was a Toyota.
Yeah.
It was a tiny little Toyota, and that thing was the shit. All this to tell you that this commercial that you're bringing to us today, what they are pitching is don't think about the chicken tax. Do you know what the chicken tax is?
No.
The chicken tax is the reason why you can't own a truck.
Oh yeah, the ones why we can't have good Japanese trucks with real towing capacity. Yeah.
The chicken tax trucks is a 25% tariff on imported light trucks. It was enacted in 1964, but it was put into like a much more effective, like the lingering effects. It's like it has nothing to do with trucks, but it has everything to do with pollution.
Yeah.
And you can only, they're like, oh, unless it's a truck, you have to make sure that it is an economical and it doesn't give whatever. So that's why all the trucks are so fucking big. And the way that they're selling it to you is, you got a big dick? Make it look like you got a big dick. You know, they're just like, don't
you
want to
be a big boy. You want to be a big boy. You want to get those monster truck tires and add them to your truck. You want to run over a toddler.
Yeah.
You want to crush a toddler's bones with your big truck.
That is 100%. They're selling you misdirection, and they're using the base, like they're selling you lifestyles of the rich and famous for white trash, the good old boys, and they're literally they're not selling racism. They're using American exceptionalism and white nationalism as the tool to sell you misdirection about the economy.
Yeah.
That's what I believe about these commercials.
And make you think white people made the blues.
Yeah.
So many claims being made. Honestly, at this point, like, just be gay, dude.
Not
like,
claimed,
just go.
Just implied. That's a huge aspect of things. Implied. You know, we're not. You can't pin us down that we said that.
Allegedly.
But if you drew some conclusions, whatever.
Hey, if I bring you to A and B, but you get to C on your own, that's on you.
Yeah.
Okay. On with the show. Let's get to my submission for America. I honestly, we've nailed the theme today. I think these are some solid points we're making.
Yes. Turns out it's all a facade that's mostly marketing. And
I'm holding back comment until I see this third one, you know?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thomas Jefferson, I think, one of the best advertising copywriters of all time.
Yep.
Really came up with some shit that people would lock onto, even though it did not benefit them and they couldn't afford it.
Yep. He sold that aggressively. Some of the best copywriting. It's all marketing, man.
What are some other good things he's done? Let's talk about them.
No, let's watch this commercial. Because here we go.
I got it! Wow!
Introducing the G.I. Joe USS Flag aircraft carrier.
Look at the size of that
It's
thing.
big, tough, and built to carry all the planes, men, and equipment Joe needs to go into battle against Cobra. Some assembly required.
Feel the jet! Metal battle station! Where's the admiral? He's at the wheel!
Potato ass sculpting.
Man.
G.I. Joe USS Flag aircraft carrier comes with what you see here. Other figures and equipment sold separately from Hasbro.
I got it. Hey, when I tell you that you would see commercials for shit all the time that you would never own, and they live in your mind, that as this, and if you ever found out that someone had it, you're like, fuck you, rich kid.
I mean, that toy is way too big. I'm
it
gonna be
is
honest.
way too big.
Look
at the size of that
is not fitting in the average American home in the 80s.
Look at the size of that. It'll take up the whole room. I love the some assembly required. This is the iconic GI Joe action figure style of commercial where there's always what I'm glad is lacking in this is where there's an elaborate built staging set.
My favorite thing about all those was all the Spanish moss that was in so many tiny plastic cubes and Spanish moss that like Cobra was always hiding on the other side of a small puddle through a wall covered in Spanish moss that you could just drive a truck right through. No sweat.
Every action figure commercial was was relying on the child having an extreme affinity for building dioramas.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's like, what is this child's terrarium?
You've got to go to Michael's for an afternoon if you really want to have fun with your GI Joes.
If you want to have fun with your GI Joes, you got to get really into miniature building. And you got to get like also. I imagine, and I just realized there is some connection between this and the Ram commercial of selling like power, dude. War.
So
you know,
interest again. This is GI Joe. All of this kind of
Pigeon.
Pigeon. This episode of Ad Nauseam brought to you by Pigeon the cat. For all your cat needs, rely on Pigeon.
You know, this all comes out of the era of the 80s where after Reagan kind of strips away advertising restrictions towards children in 100%. Television. And, you know, I think obviously the most, one of the more famous ones of that, the first one that kind of really broke that dam was He-Man. And quite literally the He-Man's phrase, "I have the power," comes from they just realized children feel powerless, and if they get to say they have the power, they like it. And that is the fantasy. And that is GI Joe kind of comes from that same sort of, or not really, because GI Joe is kind of a redo of an old thing that they made, like built
from
up
the 50s.
But that is, I mean, GI Joe, the revitalization of GI Joe is built in comparison, in competition with He-Man, and specifically that 80s boy market. You know,
just little kids just being like, "I can have popsicles for dinner."
Yeah.
Just like
I was that child.
Yeah,
you don't understand. Like so here's the thing about GI Joe. This is from 1980. Oh, I don't have the date here, but it's earlier on, because this is not the quality of toy that you got later on in the run, where it was literally just a vessel to put, like, you saw how like weirdly shaped the plane was with the bulbous. It was to fit the toy in there, you know. And even then, the toy couldn't really fit in a lot of these things. And eventually, they realized that's where the action figure, they don't want the thing as much as they want the different guys. All of the different guys had to be customizable. So then you started getting, and then there was like the balance of the Cobra jet and all these things that you would get. And I will say, having been a child of this era, but also like, again, when you're like, a lot of people are nostalgic for the lifestyles of the rich and famous. I realizing this is lifestyles of the rich and famous for the children. Everything about America is trying to sell you a dream about what's possible. And that's how, what they like when they use America to market something, they don't use America. They use the idea of America, which freedom. GI Joe, I don't know if you've seen the animated episode of Community.
Yep.
In Community, they do an episode of GI Joe where they do all of this stuff. They're all fighting the thing. And Jeff Winger, Joe McHale's character, is like, "What are we doing?" And he shoots somebody dead. And everybody's like, "Oh my God." Yeah. And they have like full existential crisis, because in the history of that show, it's red lasers versus blue lasers. And nobody ever dies, because it's a kid's show, but they're using guns, and they like, it's like
the Foot Clan in the Teenage Ninja Turtles. They made them robots.
They made them robots.
Yeah.
They can't
They exploded.
Well, episode 1, Star Wars episode 1, all those droids are because you can't show, if you're going to show Jedi fighting with lightsabers that we already know chop the guy's arm off with no sweat.
Yeah.
You have to
they got to be robots or children.
Well, by that point though, like
children,
I think, you know, Transformers,
yes,
the movie has already happened, and they kill off Optimus Prime, and it's this mass like for the kids that saw it, because I didn't think that movie did super
Fucked
well.
me up pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it fucked
it's
up the
brutal.
kids. And then like some kids like tune into Transformers like later that year, and that's how they find out, because they didn't see the movie. And it causes more sorts of problems. And they do that because the idea is, well, like, this is an advertisement for the toys. We can't just keep selling Optimus Prime toys. We kill Optimus Prime off. We bring in a new toy.
Exactly. That's how it works. And that's how,
gotta get a new Power Ranger every once in a while, or we're
good.
running out
Yeah,
of plastic
absolutely. We're going to do an episode on the proliferation of cartoons that were 30-minute commercials for toys in the heyday of those, and their theme songs. We have to do the theme songs of these cartoons at some point. The license, this is, we're going to invoke whatever the copyright thing is. We're fair use, because it's so important that these songs still live in our heads. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would like to propose when we do that episode, that we kind of do it as a book club sort of thing, where there's this book called The He-Man Effect by the comic artist Box Brown, and it is kind of just a glossing summary of kind of everything we've talked about, or I've been talking about in this, but it also goes back to like the earlier parts of like the earliest ideas of PR in the American world and all of that. I think it would be really interesting to bring that in and talk about it, and I'll have that. Where it's also a really fast, short read, because it is a comic. It's really well done.
Sure. Oh, that's cool.
Hell yeah.
So, guys, I think this has been a good. Let's end the show with a little pitch meeting. We are trying to sell America.
Okay.
Using what we learned today, let's use our expertise as artists, as actor, and as philosophers of marketing and advertising. At every spectrum today, we saw America being sold as lifestyles of the rich and famous to different people.
Yeah.
And reaching basically the selling of power. What are our pitches? How are we going to sell America to the next generation?
I mean, they need to know first and foremost that people will look at you like this.
Oh my God, that's so good.
The one thing about America that we do know is that it was a lot of people have to live within the world of America without having asked to be about it. America
it's the
was
one thing we can't change. We can't stop doing is being
America has been done to people,
Yes.
Yeah. So in that way,
G.I. Joe, we didn't land on G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe landed on us.
We will there should be some sort of activation like the U2 album that just showed up on everybody's phone, and everyone was like, I don't want this.
We have to, it has to have an element of imperialism. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. America, if we're selling it has to be against their will.
You don't have to think about I know it didn't make the rounds, but imagine the Declaration of Independence being tweeted and people being like, well, fucking talk about it's a bunch of people who have iPhones, right? Because if we port that back, then everybody has an iPhone. Junkies have iPhones. So in 1776, slaves would have had iPhones if iPhones exist. Everyone's got them. And you see people in the fields going for all? Yeah. For fucking all?
Yeah.
Liberty
immediately.
And justice for who?
Yeah. There would be a YouTube video of field workers react.
Yeah.
Those reaction videos.
We're very dangerous. We might already be into jokes that we shouldn't be making.
We should not. But here's the thing. The goal of this is to recognize that we are being manipulated. Right? Americans are buying, we've eaten up so much propaganda that the people who are the most propagandized think of themselves as free thinkers.
To take that joke back to people that look like me, it's all right, then a person who's a moonshiner in a Tennessee holler gets that and is like, Fucking who? What? Who
Yeah.
am I don't give a shit about any of
I
these
don't
people.
recognize your authority. I'm a free man.
I've got the biggest goddamn truck you can buy. I have the power.
So much of the boomer understanding of like America is just built of their formative lives being fully shaped by, or the formative years of their lives being fully shaped by the Hays Code. You know, it's fully just bombarded with propaganda of Christian nationalists, like extremism. So anyway, we bring back the Hays Code. That's part of it, you know?
I mean, I think you just play that Dodge commercial and then insert the lick-lipping lady into it somewhere, and then just don't say Dodge.
Oh, she's riding the sheep.
She's riding the sheep.
Yeah,
she's
riding the
we
sheep.
are the bull, not understanding animals.
She's like, I fucked the bull. And then there's another across the street, another commercial that says riding the bull on Postmates is extra horny. And
exactly. Yeah. Billboards. That's the marketing campaign. It's going to be billboards, YouTube ads, and tweets just sent out.
And we will do some sort of online activation. It will go viral. It doesn't matter if it does. You just say that so that people think, okay, yeah, we can buy into this. So it will make viral marketing campaigns.
Tag 2 friends in this post to get the right to vote as well.
No, it's going to be like those chain emails from the early 2000s. It's like, if you don't send this to 10 people, you're gay or whatever. You know, that's like, if you don't send this
to Tommy. Send this to 10 people or you're not free.
Actually, grassroots campaign. You know those text chains that go through every holiday. They're like, it's the 4th of July, baby. Get ready to come like a firework, bursting eggplant emoji, wet emoji. So we build out those and we start seeding them naturally into various text copy pasta sites. We send them out to other people. We start chaining that so that, it's like, Honda days or whatever. But for Dodge and America.
Funky Freedom Days.
Yeah.
We need a slogan. We need a tagline for this marketing campaign. We're selling MERICUH.
The power
apostrophe MERICUH.
The power of freedom.
The power free. We do have somebody in the chat. Let's say, simply too deep. What's up? But they're not watching currently. Okay.
My pitch is it's here. What are you going to do about it?
Ooh, I like it. What are you going to
It's too late to change.
I like it because it sounds like
positive,
America is making a threat.
What you going to do about it?
Also kind of like, hey, you going to do something about that? Like, maybe someone should do something.
It's all in the read. It's all in the read. Actor, and here's your line. America, what are you going to do about it? Right? It's all in the read.
STDs are timeless after all. Like,
what are you going to do about it?
Get checked for propaganda.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Loose lipstick ships, baby.
Is that phrase is going to hit differently in every state differently, in maybe every
what are you
going to
do about it?
There are going to be some places where it's going to be full on riots, and then there's other places where it becomes utopia. Like
we'll elect a socialist and win all the championships.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't tell me how. I can't tell you how much FOMO I have over New York.
Vibes are pretty solid here right now.
Electric.
Pretty good. So we've nailed it. Okay, we're going to be doing a lot of algorithmically manipulated copy pasta into the internet zeitgeist. We're going to have some real in-your-face direct messages sent via chats and things with emojis, with eggplants and rams and the water
the face
shooting
of this campaign. What celebrity do we get?
Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, tits. I don't think it should be Sydney Sweeney. I just think it should be boobs.
Here's the
just
thing.
Boobs.
I could not pick out Sydney Sweeney in a crowd. I couldn't pick, even outside of a crowd. I really don't know what she looked like all that much.
I don't think I do either.
She's blonde, I think.
She was the jeans one, right?
She was the jeans one. And she is like this weird, like, center point for like everybody that like.
Oh, yeah, she really does look. Huh. Yeah, she's like waifish enough to be like ethereal, but she's like strong enough to be strong. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, for the kind of joke that we're making about America, that's the person right now.
Absolutely. And also, she's trickery to both sides, because she's gonna appeal to your like trad wifey side, but also she's Sydney Sweeney, so she's weird and like.
Well, her family's all right wing.
Oh no,
she
is
MAGA.
she is fully just appealing to.
So we need somebody somebody who's gonna get both sides, and it's like so hard to do that. Is there a person, do you think,
Dolly Parton?
Like, fuck me.
No, don't you? It's Dolly Parton, but don't you besmirch her name like that. She's a
saying,
pure.
She
don't you dare.
She is both sides. Everybody loves Dolly Parton. Everybody loves Dolly Parton. She is as American and wholesome as apple pie.
Yeah,
John, I'm gonna stop you right. This is all a character, by the way. I'm gonna claim you have a fundamental misunderstanding about how this job works, John. Because we're not here to find something that is the uniting front. We want people to fight and engage. We want division in the United States, because that's how.
Well, then we go back to Sydney Sweeney.
Okay, well then we need
very divisive.
We need Sydney Sweeney for the one grassroots campaign, and for the other grassroots campaign, we need
Dolly Parton's the one sending out the text.
Yeah. Yeah, but who do we get for the lefties? If so, we have Sydney Sweeney for the righties. We need.
No, it has to be. We're looking for this impossible goal. That's why I think we should go with a fictional character. A real person has too many ties to it, because I keep thinking of you want to know. I think it should, like, who's the face of our campaign? It should be like
Mickey Mouse.
It could be Mickey Mouse, friendly on the
Coca-Cola
outside.
Shirt.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse, where he's
chastely kissing Minnie in front of a battleship,
in front of the Disney industrial complex. That
Donald Duck holding a machine gun.
Donald Duck on the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier in his sailor suit,
eating at a Sizzler buffet.
100%.
And then it cuts to Daisy going like this.
I want to say, I think we nailed it. I think we got it. America, what are you gonna do about it?
That's it.
That is our pitch for this episode. Thank you all,
America.
It is America, because it's also America. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
We gotta make it better. Or America, what are you gonna do about it? You don't change shit. Like, it all depends on the read. And the way we're doing it, we're going to have people fight over, hey, you're reading it wrong. Win.
What if
America.
this is the start? What if this is the powder keg of like the next Civil War? Like, what are you going to do about it?
The podcast heard around the world.
Yeah. What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it? Follow us at Mike Metcalf, at Alex Murray, at Vox the Devil on all social media platforms. You can follow us at Zeros on Heroes, and you can send us an email at zerosonheroes@gmail.com. We're going to be here every Thursday at this time. You can schedule it, and we will be as close. We're going to do our best to be here every Thursday. Most Thursdays. If we will let you know. So follow us on our channels, and we will let you know when we're going to be here. Also, again, we are looking for pitches for theme songs, graphic design elements, stream overlays, video editing. Everything is for sale here at this podcast. So if you want to improve the quality of the show, it's up to you. What are you going to do about it? You don't like this podcast? What are you going to do about it? Because everything's for sale. Is there anything you guys would like to promote before we go?
Yeah, actually, I am not. It's not quite up yet, but my website, voxthedevil.com, is currently up. That's my portfolio, and I am working currently on making my online store more active. One of the products that I'll be adding is these printable coloring book pages of some of my artwork, and it's like $2 for PDF, and if you get all 3 of them in a bulk, you can get them for $5. They will be.
Is there a
there.
website?
It'll be on voxthedevil.com. I am trying to, like, literally right before this we started recording, I was struggling with Squarespace to get it to work. But I will hopefully in the next few days have that up, and I will be just like check out my social and I'll post about it there too. And yeah, I hope people will enjoy coloring my art.
R. Alex Murray, would you like to promote something before we go?
$5 and I'll write anything you want on this card and start next week's show with it. Also, I do RPG live plays in New York. Follow me. We're doing
Dungeons and or Dragons and or other TTRPGs will be played. Thank you all for joining us. This has been Zeros on Heroes ad nauseum, where the commercials are the show. Today's topic was America, and we've decided that what are you going to do about it? Remember, everything is for sale.